Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Today's drink of the day, or one of the drinks of the day, is some Coca-Cola because why not? Also, another beverage that I'm also slowly working on that I also really enjoy so far is this. If you guys have never tried it, it is the limited edition Electric Flash. I'm not really sure what flavor it is, but it's kind of this color. It's really good. So, limited summertime flavor, I think. So, I recommend you get it before it's gone. If you like Gatorade, it's like it just says thirst quencher. It doesn't, and the name of it's Electric Flash, but it doesn't specify like what flavors it is. It tastes good, and that's really all I know. It doesn't even specify anywhere on the label what types of flavors could be in it. It's a mysterious unknown flavor. But yeah, I'm trying to read the label to see what's on here. Yeah, I have no clue as far as flavors go. It doesn't say like natural raspberry flavors or anything at all. So I don't really know. But here we are, here we are. So these are the drinks that I'm liking these days. Two drinks cup and I saw this at Circle K and I was like, this looks new and delicious. I'm gonna try it. And it's pretty good. I have no idea what flavor it is, but it tastes good. Whew, my goodness. I'm yawning over here, you guys. Apparently, we don't have any live watchers, legitimately at all. And I'm a little bit sad about it, hoping that we get some live watchers soon. That's what I'm hoping for. Hi. Oh, we have some live watchers. Hi. Hi, hi. So, welcome to today's live. Thank you. We're talking about our favorite beverages, Coke, and also this Electric Flash Gatorade is really good too. Epic Displays. Hi, 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 hi. Like this video. Also, don't forget to try to subscribe to the channel to get me to 200 subscribers. Also, if you want to help me get to 500 subscribers, I might bump up the giveaway and make it a little better. And so if we can get me to 500 subscribers, then my goal will be to give the prize to 2 people. So if you get me to 200, then one lucky person will get a set of Clover or more crochet hooks and a variety of yarns. If you guys can get me to 500 subscribers, then I will give 2 lucky winners a set of Clover or more crochet hooks and a variety of yarns. So the whole set, which comes with I think 10 or 11 hooks, I believe. Thank you also, by the way, for subscribing. If you don't know what the Clover and more crochet hooks look like, here is one. I just had to buy this one recently because the set does come with this. However, I lost it a couple of years ago, or at least a year ago, I think. And I don't know where it went. So I had to recently buy a new one. But I have owned this exact set of hooks for 8 years now. And other than being a little dirty from being in this Estee Lauder pouch, they're pretty clean for the most part. And they're pretty, like, you can't really tell that I've owned these for 8 years. Like, you just can't tell. They just don't look old. And I really like that. They're really easy to wash, too, which I really, really like. You just run them under some hot soapy water and you just dry them off. There's no issues with washing them. They're really comfortable. I don't get hand pain hardly at all when I crochet with the clovers. I don't. and I've used other brands that are similar to that style of hook, and they just don't meet my standards at all. So I only use these now because the other ones I just don't like. They just don't meet my standards. They're just not good, and I'm just not interested in playing around with my health when it comes to my fingers, my wrists, my hands, my elbows, my arms, that sort of thing. All of which, when you do crochet, you can injure, by the way, and you can injure permanently if you don't take proper precautions, which isn't a big deal if you don't crochet on the regular, but if you're crocheting on the regular, it's a big deal. If you're crocheting multiple times a week on a reoccurring basis, it's a big deal to have these types of equipment to keep you from injuring yourself. What do you mean food and health? We're not talking about food. We're talking about like injuring yourself when you crochet. Because if you don't have the appropriate hooks, you can injure yourself. Like you can sprain your wrist, you can get carpal tunnel, your elbows can get sore, your arms and shoulders can get sore, and you can really badly injure yourself if you're crocheting all the time without the appropriate hooks. And that's why these Clover Amours are so great because they're really durable and high quality. And I like these hooks because they're very soft. They're also very grippy and from, they keep your hand from sliding. So wherever you put your hand, it's going to stay. And you also don't have to grip the hooks really hard because of how you barely have to hold them. That's how comfortable they are. And they're comfortable for all kinds of grips. And also the tip is, in my opinion, the perfect shape. I bought these 8 years ago and they were $80 when I bought them. Spoiler alert, they're like $40 for a set now. But I've had them for 8 years, and unless I lose the hooks, which I have lost a couple, I don't think I'll ever need to replace these as long as I don't lose them. Pretty much. They're pretty much, in my personal experience so far, I think they'd last a lifetime. They're just built really well. They're really simple, but what I like about them most, other than the comfortability and the fact that my hands don't hurt, is just the fact that you get a bunch of different hooks and each hook comes in a different color. So in a way, you can almost coordinate your project based on which color you like. You could look at, I've designed crochet patterns just by being inspired by the colors of the hook. So I mean, that's just something that I really enjoy. Epic Stitch Places. Oh my. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I just find that it's something really nice. They're really high quality. They're a lot cheaper than they were back when I bought them 8 years ago, I have to admit. They're like half the price now. But there are other brands that sell similar hooks like these that are really, really cheap, and I've tried them, and they're terrible. So if you don't get Clover brand specifically, they're made in Japan, actually. But they're such a high quality product that these are the only ergonomic hooks that I will ever use because I've tried multiple brands. And after trying other brands to see if ergonomic hooks were a thing for me, like if it really mattered, I got a cheaper brand, didn't like them, switched to these, and I think that they're amazing. I used to crochet. Epic Stitch Plays. Why don't you crochet anymore, if that's the case? Also, I just wanted to update you all on the progress of our phone pouch slash purse, if you didn't see in the last video. So I pretty much, this is what the phone pouch slash purse looks like so far. So basically you can fit your phone, your driver's license or ID, credit and debit cards, a little bit of cash, and some earbuds and maybe like a phone charger. And it's just kind of like a purse deal that you can bring with you when you want to go run a quick little errand, or you want to go to just hang out with a friend, or you want to go for a walk and you want to bring your things, some of your things, but you don't want to bring your whole purse per se. So stay tuned for a pattern for this. I don't know if it's going to be the exact dimensions of this exact one because I don't remember what my stitch count was in the beginning, but it'll be the same style. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, so I made these little holes right here. And the reason why I did is because these holes are where the straps are going to go, or the singular strap rather. This is how much strap we got so far. Caleb McCullen says God loves you. Yeah, some people just don't take to it. I ended up taking to it like immediately. I I could crochet a hat within 30 minutes of learning how to crochet. I just understood crochet. I learned in high school, my crafts teacher, we took like a crafts class, and my teacher taught me how to crochet, and within 30 minutes I was already crocheting a hat by myself, completely unassisted. A fully functioning hat that was totally the right shape and fit me perfectly. Granted, it was hideous. It was white and red. It was like the most hideous Santa Claus hat looking thing, but it was the only yarn I had at the time. And it if you could see that hat, I don't even think there was really any mistakes even, to be completely honest. And it had been the only crochet experience I've ever had, and I never even, I don't know, there was nothing wrong with the hat. Like the ends were weaved in, like it was probably not up to my standards now, but for a beginner hat, it was like nothing wrong with it. It was like perfect for a beginner hat. The only thing is it was just so ugly because of the yarn colors that I had to use. But we had to have partners in crafts class, and you had to learn a new craft with your partner. So you and your partner had to learn the same craft. And the teacher goes, "You need to be teaching your partner how to crochet because I can't do it." And you picked it up like within 30 minutes. So can you teach your partner how to do it? So I agreed, and he learned how to do it because of me, and he hated it every minute of it because a lot of guys don't like crocheting. It's fine. But so basically, this is what the strap looks like, and I'm just gonna, for reference, show you what the holes are for. So basically, you stick your strap in the hole like that. Obviously, the strap would be longer, but and then this is what it would look like basically. So then you would sew this piece to this back piece, and then it would go across on the other side, and then obviously you would stick the other side through the other hole and do the same thing. Now granted, this does have to be long enough to be crossbody, so it's not nearly long enough yet, but that's what we're working with, and that's why I did these set holes. So they're just holes to feed the strap through, basically. They're not little mini handles. I mean, I guess technically they are, but that's not their purpose. So this is Seahawks themed. If you don't know, Seattle Seahawks is my state football team, and that's why I made it in these colors, because I was selling a hat in said colors. And so yeah, that is the updates for that. And where did I put my crochet hook? I just had it. And we do have some official updates that are more exciting. Will we crochet? If anyone's interested in the updates. So I'm just gonna keep crocheting, and then as soon as I have some watchers again, because my, oh hi, we got a new watcher. So I'm doing some channel updates. So as I have mentioned in my previous lives, my videos as of right now are just gonna plan on being lives, and any type of video that I can film sitting down, that will be what this channel is gonna consist of for right now. So I think that, you know, it's just going to be great. I think that'll be good. But that's the specific channel update as far as how videos will go. So right now it's just going to be lives, and any any videos I can film sitting like this temporarily until I get my own place because I'm staying with somebody, and then, you know, be able to have a filming setup. So that is, of course, gonna remain true for the channel update. But for the update as far as the business as a whole, um, I'm looking at my computer so I could tell you this correctly. I found a website called Ko-Fi. It's Ko dash fi dash fi, and it's basically like Facebook in a way for crafters, artists, entrepreneurs, that sort of thing. So you have like a profile on Ko-Fi where you can update your status and upload photos and stuff like you would Facebook, but there's a section of your Ko-Fi where you can actually sell physical and digital products. So I'm pleased to announce that hopefully in the soon-ish near future, I will be selling physical crochet items on my Ko-Fi store. So this will be temporary until I'm able to get a Shopify account, but that is kind of what we're going with. I plan on probably also selling crochet patterns as well on there because you can sell digital and physical products on this Ko-Fi website as well. I will, however, need to wait until I just get a little more money coming in before I can do said thing. But I'm going to do my best to try to hurry up and get things going. So I do want to let everybody know that once I get a back stock of stuff crocheted and once I get everything settled to where I can start selling on there, we will do a live video. And we can sell the stuff on the live probably. Maybe even pack the stuff on the live, possibly. And I can just let you know over time if I like the Ko-Fi website. So it's basically like a Facebook for entrepreneurs, pretty much. And it's totally free. They just take a very small percentage of your sales. It's like, I think it's like between 0 and 5% of all sales, which honestly, in my opinion, is not that much. So there's no listing fee as far as I know. It's free to set up an account. All you have to do is set up a free Stripe and or PayPal account, and then you can start getting money right away. You just have to have some very basic packing essentials like poly mailers, that sort of thing. So if anybody is looking for poly mailers, boxes, or any type of like shipping materials for your products, I do have a recommendation for you guys. Not sponsored, but I do want to give you guys a recommendation. And I have personally never used them, but I know YouTubers who do use them and love them. And when I saw the prices, I freaked because they're cheap, you guys. High quality and cheap. They are called U-Pack and Ship. I plan to use them. They have shipping boxes, poly mailers, and merchandise bags, as well as other products like leather type tags, all kinds of stuff that you can do. Also, like thank you notes and cards you can get. So we are just going to look at the poly mailers just to give you guys a rough idea of what some of their pricings look like. They have the Disco Cherry poly mailers starting at $3.99, which is a killer price. You can get a 25 pack of 10 by 13 poly mailers for $3.99. It is $4.99 for a 50 pack, $8.99 for a 100 pack, $16.99 for a 200 pack, and $68.99 for 1,000 pack. Plus, you can type in how many packs you want. So, do you want one 25 pack or do you want two 25 packs? So, you can get 500 of these 10 by 13 poly mailers for $37.99. And they have a whole bunch of really cute designs. This one is like little cherries, but they're like little heart-shaped cherry like disco balls. And they come in all kinds of sizes. And a lot of YouTubers use this brand. They are a small business. They are coming out with new designs all the time. They have all kinds of stuff like labels and tape wrap, custom mailers, all kinds of stuff. So if you're uh, running a crochet business and you are looking to get different shipping products for your business, or you just have a business in general and you want to, find a better alternative, I would recommend You Pack and Ship because I've seen a lot of reviews and the prices are ridiculous. I mean, I can get some of these poly mailers, get 25 poly mailers for $3.99. $3.99, people. Like, just ridiculous prices. They also have these smaller ones. They have the wavy daisy designer 6x9 poly mailers. $2.49 for a pack of those. And I'm sure they all start at 25 poly mailers per pack. And you get them for $2.49. That is just an absurdly cheap. And I think the most expensive that I've seen is like $9 for a pack. So if you want to go to upakandship.com, that's UPAKN ship.com. Not sponsored, but I'm going to be using this company for when I start selling products. And they just have a lot of really fun, cute designs. They have some Halloween designs out as well. Um, at You Pack and Ship, at symbol You Pack and Ship. I hope they see this live stream later. Like I said, I've never personally used this brand, but I've heard of a lot of YouTubers using this brand, and I've heard that the quality is really good, that the shipping is really speedy, and that they're always coming out with new products. You can customize products, and that they're just really amazing. So I plan to go with them as soon as I start selling, but I do want to sell. It's Ko-Fi, Ko-Fi. It is kind of the logo is a little coffee mug with a orange heart in the middle. So it's basically like Facebook, and they have different tabs. So they have like your profile, your status, you know, like what message you want to type, and then they also have a section I think for like photos and videos, and then like a tab for like products that you sell. So it's basically a social media platform for people who sell stuff, and you can sell physical items, digital items, all kinds of stuff, and it's totally free to sign up. I think the only thing you have to pay, I believe, is between 0 to 5% of the sale that you made. So I think it's reasonable, and I think it's really just great. And I'm going to be selling crochet patterns and physical products on there as soon as possible. So I think that'll just be great. So stay tuned for that. Also, I'm thinking of doing like dish scrubbies, you know, um, kitchen rags, that sort of thing, like dish rags. Um, Scrunchies are one thing, maybe some headbands, just little fun things. And so that will go live eventually. I don't know exactly when that's going to be going live. I will be doing, I'll probably go live again announcing, like, hey, it's officially going to go live at this particular day and time. And then, I'll let everyone know in a video. And then we'll all be able to probably meet up in another live. And then that'll be like the release day. So I will probably let everybody go to the website and look beforehand before they can buy, if that's allowed on the website. Like, you'll be able to see the listings, but they won't be available for sale yet. And then if they do allow that on the website, I'm not sure. And then you guys will kind of have a rough idea of what we're selling, and then we'll have a release date. So I'm working on that as much as I can. But again, I've got bills to pay and not really any income right now because the job I got, they do 2 weeks of the schedule at once. So they write the schedule twice a month. So a lot of companies, the way they work is they will write 1 week of the schedule, and then at the end or middle of that week, they will write the next week's schedule. But that's not the way the company I'm working for does it. And so when they hired me on, they had already written the 2 week schedule. And so I did go in for my orientation, which is just basically where you sit in front of a computer and you learn, basic company policies and how to clock in, clock out, that sort of thing. Just rules of working there. But because I had already written a 2 week schedule, I haven't been put on. I haven't worked yet, really. So I don't start working there officially until next month. And yeah, so I've applied at a couple other places to get some more steady income coming in for sure. But other than that, and then also I'm opening up my business again. So that's officially open, harborhousekeeping.com. If you are in the Kennewick area and you're looking for a reliable, trustworthy housekeeper, that's me. I plan on getting that up and running to where I have employees and have all of that dealt with and taken care of. And then I'm probably going to have either 2 or 3 jobs plus housekeeping, which will be all done by my employees, hopefully. And then this, as well as YouTube. So I plan on being very busy and very full. So if you want to check out Ko-Fi, it's ko-fi.com. It's free to join, and there's no qualifications to sell on there. You just upload your stuff and sell. And then if you make a sale, you just have to use a portion of that sale to ship out the item, and you just ship the item. I will wait until I get some more money coming in though, so I can have the basics of like shipping supplies figured out. But yeah, I think this could be a really good thing, and this will be like a free way to start, and then eventually I will be moving over to Shopify eventually because I hear Shopify is better, but this is a free alternative. They do take between 0 and 5% of every sale, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's true. But there's no membership fee. You don't have to like pay a monthly subscription fee or nothing. It's pretty much like signing up to Facebook, if you will. So it's free in that sense. So I think that'll be good. So I'm working on some stuff right now, and I'm hoping in the coming months or sooner, depending on how soon I can get enough money to pay my basic bills and enough money to buy a few packing supplies. And then once I do that, I will start crocheting stuff to sell. So if you have any recommendations on what you want to sell, what you want me to sell, that would be awesome. And if you guys want a written pattern for this design, let me know in the comments as well. Again, the straps will go through here, be folded up and sewn on themselves. And then this is just a cute way to carry some of the things from your purse without having to bring your whole purse. So that is pretty much the update, I guess. I just had to go to the website so I could look at everything and talk about everything. So this is how much of these straps. We are just doing single crochets at this current moment. A really good tip that I have found is when you're working single crochets, don't chain at the beginning of your row, because when you chain, it it just makes your edges not clean and neat. And I personally, in my opinion, feel like when you're just doing single crochet rows back and forth, you don't really need chains because you don't really need a whole lot of height. And this is how straight and neat the ends of my rows are. And the only thing I've done is taken out the chain at the beginning. So I'm at the end of my row. There should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 stitches. And instead of chaining, I'm just going to turn my work, go straight into the first one. Now you do have to make sure, because it does loosen your loop a little, so you do have to make sure that you tighten it before you work the stitch, and just be aware that that first stitch of the row might be just inherently a tiny bit looser than all the other stitches, but you don't really notice it when you go back through it the next row. And I think that it's really nice. I just really, really like this technique because it's an easy technique. You're just not chaining. So there's literally less work involved. And I personally think that it's amazing. So that's pretty much what we're doing. Oh, and also this is how much yarn we have left of the blue. If I need to, I can always add the green. I do have some green left. But yeah, so I will hopefully in the coming months, hopefully sooner than the coming months, be selling these products. I think that will be amazing. And I will also be going to the craft store to get some yarn and things. And my question for you, what do you like better? Michael's or Hobby Lobby? I feel like we should do a poll. Michael's or Hobby Lobby? I feel like we should do a poll. Michael's or Hobby Lobby? Let me see if I can't do a poll in the video. Okay, we're going to view channel. I will be turning off the volume. Okay. Okay. Well, it doesn't let you like. Okay, so I put down in the comments, it doesn't let you take away the no and the yes, so just avoid those. But the poll is which do you like better, Michael's or Hobby Lobby? Just to get your guys' opinions in said comments. So don't type in yes or no because, well, they wouldn't let me edit or delete that. Those just standard come with it, and you can only do 4. I only have 4 options, and you can't delete those ones, unfortunately. So comment down below, Michael's or Hobby Lobby, which one do you prefer? I think that's... I don't know which one I prefer for me because I haven't done a lot of shopping at either. I've shopped at both before. However, I'm just not a regular shopper at either, I will say. But I have shopped there before at both. I think they're good for like different purposes, I want to say. You guys, I will be right back. Give me 1 second. There is a little bit of a spill I need to clean up. And so I really need. Yeah, there is kind of a water spill here that I need to clean up. You guys can probably still hear me. Sorry, there was just some water that spilled on the floor that needed to be cleaned up. So we're back. I just noticed it. We are back and we are making the strap. Also, don't worry if your project tends to curl up a little bit. Once you stretch it out and it's sewn in place, it's not gonna be curly. It's just curly a little bit while you're working on it. That is normal for mild curling to be happening depending on the yarn that you are using. So, yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to be making this exactly. It's going to be cross body length. I do know that for certain. And again, I did want to mention for any watchers, if you can get me to 200 subscribers, then I will be giving one set of Clover or More crochet hooks away and a variety of yarns as soon as I'm able to afford such things. Or if you all would rather help me get to 500 subscribers, then I will up the ante and choose 2 winners for said prize. So 200 subscribers will get one prize sent out, which is one entire set of Clover or More crochet hooks and a variety of yarns. And if you get me to 500 subscribers, then 2 lucky winners will be getting an entire set of Clover or More crochet hooks and a variety of yarns. So the giveaway will just have one winner if we get to 200 and 2 winners if we get to 500. So that is how that will work. Um, I think giving away a set of these hooks is only fair and only right because these hooks are just amazing and I really, really love them a lot. Also, stay tuned for a product review of this yarn on my channel. Again, it's most likely going to be unedited and it's just going to be kind of a sit down video like so. I might sit somewhere else, like I might sit in a chair against a wall or something, just to make it look more neat and polished. But for the most part, that's what I'm planning on doing because I feel like I've made enough items with this yarn to give a review of such yarn, I think. So, anyways, I think that's coming up soon. That will probably be my next video if I don't do a random live before then. So stay tuned for a product review of the Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn, which used to be known as Hobby Lobby's I Love This Acrylic. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. You all can see if I love the yarn, and if I do, what do I love about it, and do I dislike or hate the yarn, and if so, what do I dislike or hate about the yarn? You know, the pros and cons of this yarn. I will keep it real with you and let you know if there's anything I don't like about the yarn at all. I will definitely be letting you know. And I've used it enough so far to kind of formulate an opinion on whether or not I really like this yarn. So, ooh, we got a poll vote. Oh, cool. What did we get? So someone said Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is the winner. I do have to say that I do appreciate that Hobby Lobby has their 30% off yarn discount every other week, and it lasts that entire week. So I do really appreciate that. However, I'm not a fan that Hobby Lobby is closed on Sundays. I know that it's a Christian brand, and I do know that, but what if on Sunday I'm at home, I'm crocheting, and I'm running low on a particular yarn that I need, you know? I can't go on Sundays. I think, in my personal opinion, there are things that are better about Hobby Lobby, and there are things that are better about Michael's. Like, I can buy the Clover and More hooks at Michael's, and I don't believe they sell this brand at Hobby Lobby. However, I wish you could just walk into a craft store and buy an entire set of these hooks. You can only buy the sets online, but you can, at select craft stores like Michael's and whatnot, you can buy each individual. Like, they have all the sizes, but they don't sell them as a set. They only sell them individually in person. But if you want to buy the full set, you can buy them on cloverusa.com. I believe that's the name of the website. Amazon, eBay, any Walmart, any online retailer. But I wish you could buy the full set in person. That would be cool, but you can't. So that will be one thing that we'll have to do. When it does come time to do the giveaway, I will be probably vlogging the experience of like shopping for the prizes. So stay tuned for that. I probably won't be showing you everything that I get, but I'll be showing some of the stuff that I get. So again, 200 subscriber milestone, you will get, I will choose one winner, but if you can get me to 500, then I will choose two winners. So I think that's great. All you have to do to enter is just be subscribed. Just be subscribed. That's literally it. Pretty much. Just be subscribed. And I think what I'll end up doing is probably I'll do a video and I'll probably have you guys comment something and I'll just choose a couple random winners. That's probably what we'll do. Like, I'll ask you a question and then whoever gives the best answer to said question will probably be the winner. I don't know exactly what I'll do, but you will be required to be a subscriber to win. And you will also need to comment a specific comment under the giveaway video that I'll be posting when time comes. I'm not sure exactly what that is because I haven't fully decided. Like, I might ask you what your favorite yarn is, or like what your favorite crochet project is, or even knitting project, honestly, and why. And then, or maybe like why you love to crochet so much, just something basic. It's not really, I wouldn't really ask a question that you could get wrong. Just like it'll be like an opinion-based question, is what I'm trying to say. So, again, 200 subscribers will get one lucky winner, and 500 subscribers will get two. So that means two people will win a prize instead of one. So it just depends. It just depends what you can get me to. So I think that's great. I think we're making progress, and I love the way this looks so far. The texture is so fun. Let me know if you know the difference between these and these. Like this row and this row, or this row and this row. There are differences. I don't know if you can see them, but they're there. Oh my gosh, I'm yawning already. I am getting tired. But yeah, just remember when you're doing single crochets, not to chain one at the beginning of your rows because it can make your rows look really weird and wonky when you do chain one. And when you don't chain one, it makes your rows straight. You're not gonna have to they are curling up, but once you block it and stretch it, see, look. It is very pretty. I really like the way that this is working out. Like, it looks really nice. And when I started, I always thought that you had to chain one at the beginning of your row because I just thought that's just what you do, you know? That's just how you do it. It's just how it works, is what I initially thought when I was first learning. And then over the years, I learned that in some cases, you do want to do some chains or the equivalent of chains. But a lot of times, like with single crochets, it's not necessary. In fact, it looks better if you don't. And I didn't know that from the beginning. That's something I wish I knew from the beginning. Just all the little things that they tell you about crochet aren't necessarily true. They say, oh, you gotta chain one at the beginning of every row. You gotta chain two, or you gotta chain three, or you gotta do this or that. There's a lot of things that you don't have to do that you can do if you like, but that might be hindering your, how good your products might look that you're making. Like, this would look so weird if I chained one at the beginning of every row. Like, I'm just gonna chain one and then show you what it looks like compared. So I'll chain one and do one row and just show you like what it looks like. Just one row. Okay. So these are all the solid rows where I didn't chain. You can see it's pretty even and pretty flat for the most part. And then up here, you can see where I chained one. You can see it has this huge lump. Like, it's flat all the way down here up to here. And then there's like this huge lump from chaining the one. You can legitimately see the difference. And I discovered the reason why that's the case is because when you're working a row of single crochets, you don't need to add the height of a chain because you're already at the height that's needed for the next row. And so you're adding extra height that's not necessary, and so then it has to figure out where it has to kind of make room for itself because it's unneeded height, if that makes sense. Now, if you're doing taller stitches, you will need additional height to work your way up, but with singles, you don't. And so it just shows you that just taking away that chain at the beginning of your singles can really make your projects look 10 times more professional and so much nicer, in my opinion, than it would otherwise. And that was just one row. You could see how much different. I'm not saying that it totally looks bad. It just doesn't look like it's supposed to look. You know what I mean? So that is that, and yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, okay, there we go. I don't know how many rows I've gotten, because honestly, I'm not counting. I'm just gonna keep going until I feel that it's long enough, and this is not long enough because this needs to be crossbody, and it is clearly not long enough. But yeah, that is the goal. And I'll be able to kind of tell because I can pin it to the bag with the stitch markers and just kind of see, like, is this long enough and is this going to be like enough for crossbody? But honestly, this won't even be enough for like a shoulder clutch because it has to go inside the hole and then go all the way across to the other side. So this one is the first stitch of the prior row, and so it is a little bit looser, but it gets kind of hidden when you go back over it, which I really like. So you might notice that your first stitch of the row is a little bit big, unless it's really giant, I wouldn't worry too much about it, because once you go back across and crochet it as your last stitch of the next row, you won't even know that that one's a little bit looser. Like, even the trained eye you can't really tell, unless it's like way, way big. But I just like the neatness of this, but I do kind of want to stick it through the hole and just kind of see where, where it fits. And again, however much you want, like if you just want it like barely attached on like that, or if you want it pulled through just a tiny bit more, like however much you want it is fine. I personally think it might be better if you just have it pulled through just enough to stitch on like that. So that's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to attach it because I'm kind of curious to see like how it's going to go. I'm going to use 2 stitch markers because I want to do both sides, and this will just kind of give me a reference point as to how long it is, because you can think something's longer than it really is. You know what I'm saying? And you can be like, oh yeah, that's long enough, and then it's like totally not even half the length that you need. So that's pretty much what it'll look like, except it'll be sewn, so you won't see that stitch sticking out. So then you're just going to make sure that it's not twisted or tangled in any way. If you want, while you're testing it, you can also put a stitch marker in your working loop if that's what you want to do, just so the working loop doesn't come out. But I'm just testing this and showing you, for example. You just have to make sure that however you do it on one side is the exact same on the other side. So I think that's plenty. And then so basically that is how it'll look, except it'll just obviously be a longer strap. Now if you wanted a short strap, you could, but the whole point of this is to be crossbody so it can like be hands free and whatnot. And so yeah, that's kind of pretty much how it'll look once the strap goes on. And then again, it will be crossbody so you can wear it. It'll just be cute because you can put your phone in here. And the reason why I like having an option like this for me personally is because there are times when I just want to go to the store real quick, or times when I just want to go sit at the park, or times when I just want to go for a walk and I'm not actually going to run errands per se. I can then, just have this with me, and it'll hold all my essentials, and I can wear it crossbody, and then I don't have to worry about bringing a bulky purse. A bulky purse is like for more like longer outings where you're running a bunch of errands, where you need all your things, where you're going to be gone for multiple hours at a time. But if you're just going to a friend's house or going for a walk or going to get a coffee or something where you might have 1 or 2 little errands to run and whatnot, this is a really great option. And I do believe that. So I will be writing a pattern for this, I believe. It's going to look a little bit different just because I don't remember the mathematics of how I did this. Like, I know how I worked it up. I just don't remember the numbers specifically. So stay tuned for a pattern for said phone purse. Let me know down below what you would name this phone purse. And yeah, let me know what you would name it. Give it a name. And then I will soon start working on the design of said pattern. And then I will upload it and sell it. And then later on, we can stay tuned for a video tutorial for said pattern as well. So I will be, sorry, my nose is really itchy. So yeah, I will be designing a pattern, and on Ko-Fi, I will be selling said pattern. So let me know down below in the comments, what a good name for this crochet pattern will be. I might have to undo this round and just really, for certain, like make sure that the holes line up exactly, because I don't know that they do. You see what I mean? Like, I feel like there might be more stitches on this side than on this side. Like, they just don't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not sure they line up. And maybe they do. I don't know. So I might have to undo that round and figure that out. But it's all trial and error, and I really think we've got something good. And I don't know if I'm gonna be adding any green. It appears I might, because this is all the blue I have. And then for the green, this is all the green I have. But for now, I'm just gonna keep going on with the blue until I can't go on with blue anymore. And then if it's not quite long enough and I need it to be a little longer, then of course I will add the green. But if it's not long enough with the blue and the green, then I don't know what to tell you, because I don't have the yarn for it. So, oh my gosh, my nose is just so itchy. I don't know why. It's never this itchy. I don't have allergies either. It's not like itchy, like gonna make me sneeze. It's just like irritating. It's just so weird. I'm sorry if you don't want to see that, but I can't help it. I just have an itchy nose. It's just being weird. But yeah. So that's just what's up with me. What's up with you guys in the comments. Also, it is curling up, but as you can see, once it actually gets used, like I showed, it's not going to curl up anymore. So yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come, and I really believe that this is going to be great. I really believe that. I really, really do. And I have no clue how many rows I've done. Like, I really don't know. I've just lost count by now. I've totally lost count by now. Well, to be honest, I never counted. I just did a total of 6 chains, which gives you a total of 5 stitches. And I'm just going. I'm thinking it's probably needing to be triple this length. So we're probably about a third of the way done, I'm guessing. But I do really love how straight and neat and clean these lines are. They're very neat and clean, and I really appreciate that. Also, don't forget to check me out on Ko-Fi. I will be posting on there. I'm going to try to start doing that. But that is pretty much it. I put my stitch markers back in here, I think. If you don't have a container like this, something similar and small like this, you need to get you one. Because it holds my yarn needles, my stitch markers. It'll even hold one of those tape measure things. the tape measure that I have in here, believe it or not, actually fits. So if I wanted to put my tape measure in here, it fits just fine. And if you haven't heard me talk about this before, I love this because I can put my stitch markers in here, and I love the fact that it actually has a thread line, and the lid actually screws on instead of like snapping on or resting on the top. And I mean, this thing screws on tight, like you cannot pull this thing off. Like this thing screws on as tight as a regular container lid. And it does go on, and it does unscrew easy, but I never have to worry about if it tips over the lid coming off. And I just think this is great because, it's really pretty, and my friend made it for me special. And I really needed a little Notions container like this because I didn't have anything like this before, so I was really appreciative that she made it for me. Special. Like custom. I got to choose the color. I got to choose if I wanted to be like slimmer and taller or round and shorter, kind of. And I really like kind of a more scallopy, I guess, edge on the lid. And I just think it's really cute. It's like a blue, kind of translucent, like a little bit see-through, darker in real life than it is on camera. It's not quite that see-through in real life. It is see-through, but it's showing up a little more see-through on camera. And it's like this nice, like dark blue that's a little bit see-through, but a lot of sparkles. Like dark blue sparkles, silver sparkles, blue, lighter blue sparkles. And I love this thing. I cherish this thing a lot because it was made special from a friend. And also, you can't tell me how cool that was. Like all the sparkles, it's capturing some of them on camera too. Yeah, all the sparkles. And blue's my favorite color, so it's just really nice. And this can fit in like your project bag or whatever. So if you know people that make stuff out of resin, have them make you a Notions container because honestly, I don't want my stitch markers and needles to be floating around at the bottom of my bag or just in my pouch because they're hard to find. And with this, I can just open it up and grab what I need. Plus, one thing that's actually a benefit of this is when I'm working on a project and say I'm using stitch markers, but I'm taking them out and putting them back in. If I'm taking a stitch marker off my project, I could use the lid to set the stitch markers that I'm going to be reusing. So I can have the lid sitting on the surface and have however many stitch markers I need to be in use. And if I need to take them out of the project and then put them back in the project later, I can just sit them right here in the lid. And it's kind of like a mini bowl in a way. So I can set out what I need, and I can even lay my needles in here as well, just so I have easier access to the things that I actually need readily available. And then you can just dump them back in the container when you're done. And I think this is honestly the perfect size. And I just love it. It's really cute. So anyways, enough of me ranting about this, but it's functional in a lot of ways, and it's made really nicely. And I just think that's really good. Hi, little Lego. Hi. So please help me get to 200 subscribers. If you guys can get me to 200 subscribers, I will be giving one lucky winner an entire set of Clover and More crochet hooks, plus a variety of yarns. However, if you guys can get me to 500 subscribers, I will be giving two lucky winners one set of Clover and More crochet hooks and a variety of yarns. So, do your magic. Do your magic, and stay tuned for a product review of this yarn so you guys can know the ins and outs of this yarn, whether or not I love or hate this yarn, and if I like the yarn, is there anything I don't like about the yarn, and just all of the things. This is the Hobby Lobby I Love This Yarn, formerly known as Hobby Lobby I Love This Acrylic. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. Also stay tuned for a written pattern possibly for this crochet phone purse. And again, these holes are where the straps will go. I am currently working on the crossbody strap. This is probably, I don't know how many inches. Let me see how many inches long this said strap is. Because honestly, I'm curious. I'm legit curious. So it's not super long yet, but it's not super long. Like it's, so we're going to start up here. And okay. Hold on, you guys. It's not wanting to hold flat. We'll get it there. It just needs to, we're getting it there, you guys. So it is roughly about 17.5 inches is roughly what we're working with. So I need about triple that probably. Oh, okay. I won't ask you then. I won't ask you then. But yes, most definitely that is what we're doing. So we're at about 17.5 inches. So I'm going to assume we need roughly about triple that. No, I did not know what happened. I'm guessing there was an offing, if that's the right term. I don't know what I can and can't say on live, but I'm guessing there was a life taken. Is that what happened? I don't know. I do not know what happened. I do not know. So I'm just gonna guess that we need about triple what we have currently. Oh wow. Oh wow. So let me get out my calculator really quickly. Oops. That's not good. Calculator, we have 17.5 times roughly 3. So about 52 inches is what we're looking at, roughly. We might only need it to be times 2, 17.5 times 2. So about 35 to 52 inches. So once we get about double in length, that's when I will determine if we need to do another third. So, wow, that's terrible. That is so terrible. I'm reading the comments on my computer. That is literally the worst thing ever. Like, why people do stuff like this, I will never know. You know? I just will never know why people do what they do here. Wow. Also, if you guys want to go check me out on Ko-Fi, I don't know if you're able to. There's all kinds of ways you can support me on Ko-Fi. It's not officially set up yet, but just go check me out. Fibers in the Wind on Ko-Fi. And then eventually I'll get everything set up, so I will be selling directly on there temporarily until my business is thriving enough to sell on Shopify because it's free And I found out that until I make over a certain amount of money, I don't have to, account for it. Like, it's not going to be a legitimate business until I make over the required amount. And I plan on offering exclusive content to subscribers of my channel only, like people who join. You currently can't join you currently cannot join my YouTube as far as like a subscription, but that is coming in the future. So if you want to be able to get exclusive content and me posting more regularly, then subscribe, because honestly, that would mean the world to me. So this is probably where I'm going to leave you guys. And I'm going to keep working on my strap, seeing what we can't get done with that. I will try to get my Ko-Fi account. Again, it is ko-fi.com. Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi. I believe it's Ko-Fi though. And it's basically like a knockoff Facebook, but for people who want to make money, basically. So you can update your profile status. You can upload like photos and videos you want to share, like on your profile. And then there's like a section for like stuff that you sell. So there we'll sell crochet patterns that I design and then physical items. So stay tuned for that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Wow, that's crazy that you didn't know. Wow, yeah. So stay tuned for updates on the progression of that. All you need is a free Stripe and or PayPal account. And you can set it up, I think, within the website, I believe. So that is really cool. And I think that that's going to be something I can do because I would prefer to sell on Shopify, but I just don't have the means to sell on Shopify right now. So they take about between 0 to 5% of every sale is money that they take, but there's no monthly subscription fee. It's completely free. You just sign up to it the way you sign up for Facebook. And your username, instead of it being your actual name, is your business. So that's what we will do. And yeah, I just think that's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to be fun. Also, stay tuned for maybe some merch coming in the future. I have some merch ideas. So stay tuned for that coming in the future as well with my logo and everything. And let me know what type of merch you want, like hoodies, shirts, all kinds of things. And I will plan to use somebody local because I think that would be fun. And yeah, so stay tuned for all the things happening. I need to get steady employment because I just moved. And the job I got, I like I said, I worked orientation and so far that's it. Because they write 2 weeks of the schedule at once. And when they hired me, they had already written those 2 weeks of the schedule. And they couldn't add me on because they had all the positions filled that needed to be filled for those 2 weeks. And so they would have to take somebody that's been working there for a long time off of the schedule to let me be on the schedule, of course. So that's why I haven't really started other than orientation, but I'm hoping to get another job as well that can start me like more immediately. And so yeah, so I'll have those two jobs. My cleaning business will be opening back up as soon as I can get clientele. And this will all be taking off soon. So yeah, stay tuned for all the progress updates. That is the plan. Again, once I get my own housing situation figured out, I will then be having like a filming station set up where I will film and do all the things. So stay tuned for that, and I guess I will catch you guys in my next video. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Bye!